What is up, everybody? This is Furious Nation right here on YouTube.com. I'm Nick Fiore. This is Furious Nation. I honestly don't know what to say right now. I know I haven't done any videos for almost 6 months since doing a mock draft and all on the channel, and I've been busy with work, but I'm glad to be back here on Furious Nation for the first time in 6 months. Would love to get back to the groove of things. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of when moments ago I just said doing the last video here on the channel was a mock draft, my guest for that video is a guest here on Furious Nation for previewing and predicting NXT Stand and Deliver taking place this Saturday afternoon, streaming live on Peacock. My guest for Stand and Deliver preview predictions, not takeover, but ladies and gentlemen, my guest for the Stand and Deliver preview predictions video, a good friend of mine. He's part of the CNA podcast with Escobar Morales, who actually was supposed to be here with this video as well with us, but just got a DM from him, and unfortunately his stepson has some ear infection, so he unfortunately won't be in here live to stream live with me with the video here. But my guest at this time, a good friend of mine, he's part of the CNA podcast with Escobar Morales. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Furious Nation, making his return, Cameron Johnson, and let's add him in here. Voila.
Hey,
Cameron
Nick,
Johnson, welcome back.
How you
First
doing,
time in
Nick?
6 months when we did the mock draft for the 2021 WWE draft.
Yeah, man. First time in 6 months, but I'm happy to be back here, man. Thanks for having me on, man. And anytime
you are very, very welcome, Cameron. I mean, not doing this video stuff on Furious Nation also for the first time in 6 months, and my new job and such, and waking up early hours and just going home and sleeping, and just like the hour early morning, like working 5:32, getting like really rough on you, and just, not being able to do this for like months. And I did work afternoon hours, 11:30 to 8 tonight, and same thing tomorrow. Hopefully it stays that way, working afternoon hours and such, because really miss doing this, and really want to get back into this. And to be honest, I missed it. I really do miss it. And hopefully I can back into things. And ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania week, we're going to be previewing and predicting NXT Stand and Deliver, not Takeover, NXT Stand and Deliver 2022, streaming live this Saturday, April 2nd of 2022, live this, I think at 12. It's streaming live on Peacock on the WWE Network, taking place at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Speaking of which, I will be at WrestleMania this weekend, night 1 and night 2, and I'm going to be live at Stand and Deliver this Saturday afternoon as well. And looking at the card for Stand and Deliver, the matches we have, it's actually not a bad card. I mean, build could be better and such, but in my opinion, but I think looking at the card, it could be better than WrestleMania, especially better than night 2 WrestleMania, Sunday, April 3rd, if I'm being honest. Just look at the matches we got, like Gunther and, well, I call him Walter, or Gunther, whatever you want to call him, versus LA Knight. You got Tony D'Angelo versus Tommaso Ciampa, which is looking like his last match in NXT, probably getting called up after WrestleMania. We got the North American title ladder match with 5 men in it. We got the 5th man qualified tonight with all 5 men in the ladder match, including North American champion Carmelo Hayes, etc., etc. But we're going to talk about all that on right here on the channel with this video previewing Stand and Deliver. Cameron, what are your thoughts on this card and this show this Saturday, and how does it feel to be back? I mean, me being back on the channel, I honestly, like I said moments ago, I really missed it. Hopefully I can get back into things and such. And I did work afternoon hours with my job today, and it's gonna be the case tomorrow, and I'm off Thursday. and I fly to Dallas this Friday and get back from Dallas this Monday for WrestleMania weekend. So, Cameron, floor is yours.
Man, Nick, I appreciate you for having me on the channel, man. You are a really good, I consider you a really good friend. So anytime you want to anytime you want to have me on the channel, anytime you want to have me on the channel, it really I mean that, by the way. Anytime you want to have me on your channel, it's no issue. If I'm free, I'm always happy to do it. In terms of NXT,
Escobar was supposed to be here too, but I think his stepson had some ear infection. He was supposed to be here, but unfortunately can't be. But hopefully his stepson feels better with his ear infection. Hopefully he feels better.
Yeah, I hope the stepson feels better. Well, and looking at the card for Stand and Deliver, I'll be honest with you. The card for Stand and Deliver looks better than WrestleMania.
WrestleMania night number 2.
It looks better. Yeah, this card looks a lot better. This card looks a lot better than WrestleMania. I've said before on Twitter, and I'll say it again. I am a fan. Believe it or not, I am a fan of NXT 2.0. I'm a fan of NXT 2.0.
Really?
I think the show's an easy watch, and I think the show's an easy watch.
Cameron, there are like an NXT. I'm not calling it 2.0 though.
I know.
I have been watching NXT with the revamp in September. I got some mixed bag about it.
Well, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
But I mean, the black and gold, there was nothing wrong to change about it.
Yeah, there really was nothing wrong to change about it. But when I say I'm a fan of it, I'm not watching the show every week, and I'm not a fan of everybody on the show. But I know the key storyline. But and a lot of the guys they have down there, and a lot of the guys they have down there, I think have potential. In WWE to be big, have potential to be big names for the company going forward. People like Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Corey J. Corey J. Yeah, Tony D'Angelo, the Creep Brothers.
Ivy Nile, who I want to see more of, who she wrestled actually tonight on NXT against Tiffany Stratton, which I watched NXT tonight, by the way, folks.
Of course, I mean now. So, there are a lot of people down there I am a fan of, and I do think they have a lot of potential. And I do think they have a lot of potential down there. So that's what I mean when I say I'm the NXT 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys, even the Creed brothers, have gotten better. But I mean, some I like, some I don't like Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, who I'm not sold on.
They are cringe. I do not like them.
A rip off of the APA. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not. Some I like, some from Black and Gold, like Imperium and Legado del Fantasma, Cameron Grimes, To the Moon, Tommaso Ciampa. Oh, he used to be there, Johnny Gargano. Guys like LA Knight, who I think, in my opinion, is the NXT Rock of the Rock of NXT. He just has that natural charisma. He gets overreactions every week. Honestly, he should be on the main roster after Mania. Put him on SmackDown, by the way, because the SmackDown roster needs all the help they can get at this point. He doesn't need to go to Monday Night Raw. I mean, LA Knight, how do you not build money off of him? He's that good. Charisma, and he can wrestle. And the guy can wrestle. But I mean, NXT with the 2.0 experiment, mixed bag, some good, but I'm not a big fan of it. I just wish, I know with the hiring process since August last year, they don't want any indie wrestlers. They want people to train from scratch. And I know you've said to me, Cameron, they did the same shit in the past and it didn't last then, not going to last now. And I would believe that. I mean, they already signed Roxy, who I believe just signed. They signed Santina Morella's daughter. They signed, I think, Cole Carter, who used to wrestle on AEW Dark. I don't know much about him, but I've read a little info about that. Notorious Mini, who also wrestled on AEW Dark, I believe. And then it's like WWE's interest in MJF and Wardlow, Jade Cargill, and now Ethan Page, which I'm not surprised. But I heard AEW is not competition. LOL. But, well, they are competition. But, I mean, I don't have a problem with bringing in athletes to the company and to NXT. That's not my problem. My problem is when you neglect the indie wrestlers and bring the athletes to here and the indie wrestlers to here, because the indie wrestlers have that veteran experience and you could use them to know what they're doing in order for them to make these athletes coming in look better. Like without Champa, without someone like a Champa, without someone like a Gargano and a Pete Dunne, and I'm not calling him Butch. There's still need for guys like those three and LA Knight and such, and Cameron Grimes, because without people like them, guys like Von Wagner not going to get better. Guys like Creed Brothers, guys like Braun Breaker and Tony D and Grayson Waller are never going to get better. So I don't mind these athletes coming in, but when you neglect the indie guys and have the athletes here and the indie guys here, that's where I have the problem. I think if there was a mixture of both athletes and indie wrestlers, I think NXT would be much better off, in my opinion. Thoughts on that? And also with this edict, you've said the edict, they did the same edict with NXT in the past, didn't last then, not going to last now. I mean, with the, but your thoughts on all this?
I agree. Well, I agree with you there. Them bringing in athletes and stuff, to come in and become a pro wrestler. Me personally, I don't have an issue with it. Bianca Belair, one of the biggest stars in the company. She was a track star. Baron Corbin played in the NFL. Baron Corbin is even admitted he only got into wrestling because he saw how much money. He only got into wrestling because he saw how much money he could make from it. So like them having Roman Reigns, another one, former football player, but again, he's part of
Street Profits as well, I think.
Yeah. So I don't.
Gable Jason Jordan. Guys like Bo Dallas, who came from a wrestling family. Guys like Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, two big men. Luke Harper, God rest his soul. Guys like them. Guys like Corey Graves. I think wasn't he an indie guy?
Corey Graves was an indie guy. Same thing with Brody Lee. Brody Lee was an indie guy.
So was Neville and Sami Zayn.
But this
or Pac, who's now packing AEW.
But of course, this edict was never going to last. I can tell you that this edict was never going.
They legit broke their own policy with signing Roke, Cena, Anderson, MJF, and Wardlow, Jake Cargill, and now Ethan Page. How much do you want to bet they now want interest in Omega and Adam Page when their AEW contracts are about to expire?
I mean, they want interest in those guys because luring them away from AEW that would be a big blow to them. That would be a major get for them. That'd be a major get for them.
I think some of these AEW contracts have options of extending to 1 or 2 more years, and the Young Bucks used it, but not Kenny. So now his contract, I'm hearing, is up February 1st next year if things remain the same with Kenny and his current contract. But we'll see. I expect him to re-sign, but I'd be shocked if he doesn't sign a new deal.
Same here.
But you need the indie guys but it's like the fact. But at the end of the day, you need these indie guys in order to get these athletes. In order for these athletes to get better, because without them, how is Von Wagner going to succeed? He won't. But this edict, I don't see it lasting. Didn't last then. It's going to fail now, and I think eventually, year or two, they'll go right back to hiring the indie guys. And I think it's like with some AEW contracts coming up this year, and some next year, and then in 2024. It's like, you mean to tell me WWE doesn't want these people from AEW? It's like, WWE doesn't want like Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Lucha Bros. They don't want somebody like Adam Page or Omega. They don't want somebody like a Lance Archer or Moxley. Come on, be real. They do want them, but they won't tell you.
Let it get John Moxley back. Let it get John Moxley back.
Coming up soon too, I think.
He ain't going nowhere. John Moxley said he ain't going. Moxley said he ain't ever going back to WWE.
He may have used that 1 or 2 year extension option too.
Yeah, but they let have John Moxley back. They didn't want to lose him. They're trying to throw everything at him.
So it's So it's like you mean to tell me, WWE doesn't want from AEW, Varsity Blondes or Bear Country. Like, come on, be smart. They do want them, but they won't tell you that though. Just like the COVID virus is not that serious, but the media is not going to tell you though. But that's our thoughts on that. I know I'm not wrong on that. I know I'm not the only one who feels like that. Same thing with Cameron. But we're going to get started here on the Furious Nation channel. We're previewing and predicting NXT Stand and Deliver 2022. Sadly, it's not TakeOver. It's not TakeOver, just NXT Stand and Deliver. But and the first NXT special outside of Orlando, and I wish they were back in Full Sail too. The PC crowd is another thing. I don't like the PC crowd. It's not the same as Full Sail.
It's not the same as Full Sail, but I got mixed bags about that.
Yeah, but I mean the first NXT special, for the first NXT special outside of Florida for the first time since before COVID hit, and the last time they were out of Orlando. The last time they were outside of Orlando was NXT TakeOver Portland, February of 2020, a month before COVID hit. Great, like around over 2 years ago. So that and before we start previewing and predicting Stand and Deliver, I want you to first of all hit that like button on the video, subscribe to Furious Nation as well while you're at it. I have achieved my goal, I believe so, gaining at least 50 or 60 subscribers to YouTube within last year. So if that's the case, glad to achieve that goal, and I appreciate every single one of you guys, and love. And I want to say I genuinely mean that when I say thank you guys for letting me achieve my goal with that. Appreciate every single one of you and taking the time out every day to do that. And I love you guys. I appreciate every one of you. And I want to say thank you for that. Hopefully we can get more than 60, 70, 80. Let's hope for that. Maybe we get to 100 this year. Let's try for that. So for 2022 this time. So yeah. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also turn on the bell for all notifications while at it as well, so you're notified every time I go live with the channel and such. So make sure you do that as well. Also, the links in the description to follow me or subscribe to Furious Nation YouTube channel as well. Also, links in the description to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My Instagram is Nicholas Fiore 2014. My Facebook is Nicholas Fiore 31. And my Twitter is Fiore is at FioreNick579 over on Twitter. Cameron, where can we follow you on the social media stuff?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101.
And also the CNE podcast with Cameron and Escobar Morales.
Oh.
Highly recommend them. Highly recommend checking them out too.
Well, two things. Yes, subscribe to the CNE podcast, available on all platforms. Tomorrow, coming on the CNE podcast. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be on it. I have another issue to attend to, unfortunately. But tomorrow, coming on the CNE podcast, Indie Star Kid Bandit. You may have seen Kid Bandit on AEW Dark. You may have seen Kid Bandit on AEW Dark. He's been on DPW. Kid Bandit, Kid Bandit, this dude is huge. Also, he follows me on Twitter, so shout out to him. But this dude is going to be huge. He comes on the CNE podcast tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. And also, in honor of WrestleMania, me, Escobar, his uncle Kyle, and another friend of the show, Keegan, who was also a future pro wrestler. He's currently training right now. At Seth Rollins Black and Brave School. So be on the lookout for him. On Saturday, we went over WrestleMania 28. And we went over WrestleMania 23, 28, 33, and WrestleMania 30, and talked about how we will book those shows differently to make those shows better. It is absolutely an interesting listen. So if that interests you, make sure you check that out. Available on all platforms.
And I think also then Thursday, or no Thursday?
No
Thursday too?
Oh, maybe Thursday. We'll talk out there.
All
I'm
right.
on. I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that. I just had something else. Something came up. I forgot to tell you, but something came up. So maybe I'll talk to you off air about that.
All right. Sounds all right. And so that's that. The social media stuff to follow us on, like we mentioned and such. But just be warned with the social media stuff. Like Cameron said about a year ago, don't comment comments on Twitter with stupidity. You get blocked or muted if you come into a comment section in Twitter with blatant or sheer stupidity. Or if you're a troll, that's an instant block.
Yep.
And like if you got a username that says BlissBotFan 6621488881 like that's an instant fucking block. Absolutely no questions asked. But anyways, we'll get started here. NXT Stand and Deliver 2022. We got I think they announced this short like a while ago or moments ago. I'm looking at the card here. They have a pre-show match and they got 6 matches on the card. They might as well start with the pre-show match. They got the NXT Women's Tag Team title match between Toxic Attraction of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, who actually reunited earlier tonight on NXT. Thoughts on that?
I thought it was very stupid for them
I didn't expect them to reunite, but
I didn't either.
I thought Dakota was going to stick with Wendy Chu, who I'm not a fan of. I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't buy into the female Orange Cassidy gimmick. I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I'm not really a fan of
her. It's like a cosplay of Orange Cassidy, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not really a fan of hers either. But
like I said
I'm not really
earlier with the video, some parts I like about NXT with the 2.0 experiment, some parts I like, some I don't. This is one of them I don't like.
Yeah, this is one I don't like either. But trying to think. Oh, but so I thought it was very stupid so I thought it was very stupid that they reunited on the show tonight because they haven't even been broken up. You know, because they haven't even been broken up.
They broke up last summer going into TakeOver 36 where they fought for the NXT Women's title when Raquel was champion at the time. Exactly. And then they had the little street fight late 2021, I think December that year, a few months, like 3 months ago, if not mistaken.
Yeah, and now they're friends.
Kind of street fight where Raquel went over.
Yeah, now they're friends again because Dakota Kai's a babyface again, which I don't really understand at all. But okay, in terms of who wins here, keep the titles on Toxic Attraction. I will keep the championships on Toxic Attraction. Toxic Attraction are the hot act, both literally and literally and figuratively. But I think they're a hot act on the brand right now. But I think they're the hot act on the brand right now. I like what they're doing. I like Gigi Dolan. I think Gigi Dolan has the most potential out of that entire group to really be a player.
Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. To really be a player in the women's division. So I like
also
Gigi
the 2018 Mayhem Classic as well.
Yep. So I like Gigi Dolan. So I would keep her up. So I would keep the championships on Toxic Attraction. Just keep them on them. So I would keep the championships on Toxic Attraction. That's what I would do.
My prediction on this, I mean, Cameron going with the Toxic Attraction. I may have to go a different route. May have to go with Dakota and Raquel because one, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, as you know, I like Gigi Dolan and all. JC Jane still got some work to do in my opinion, but I just don't think Toxic Attraction is really working out. I mean, when they formed, I think it was like September 14th last year when they formed officially as Toxic Attraction, and then a month later at Halloween Havoc last October, they then won the tag titles from in a ladder match and such, but I think they kind of gave them the titles too quickly, and I think the push has been kind of forced. I mean, do they have potential? Yes, but I don't think it's really working out especially with Mandy Rose's at NXT Women's Champion. She can wrestle, but I don't think Mandy's title material, but we'll get to that in a little bit with the main card of Stand and Deliver. But I just don't think Toxic Attraction, in my opinion, is working out. And I don't know if I can't be the only one who thinks that way, or that's just my opinion. But I would give the titles to Dakota and Raquel, but then again, they just reformed, and it's like, the former tag team champions. Does this spare Dakota and Raquel getting called up? Do they stay in NXT then if they're a team again? It's weird and random that they're paired again now and such, like Cameron said or whatever. But do Raquel and Dakota even win here now?
I mean, if it was, if it was Dakota,
that's just me though.
If it was Dakota Kai and Wendy Choo in here, then I would go with Dakota Kai and Wendy Choo. But it's not them. Then
again, I think Dakota's better off not teaming with Wendy Choo.
She is better not. She is better not teaming with Wendy Choo. But that's what they were doing. So. No, but that's what they were doing. So, hey, when I predict something, I'm not saying I'm a fan of it. I'm just trying to think like they will and trying to follow their logic. So, when I predict something, I'm just saying I'm a fan of something.
Retains here. What do you do with Raquel and Dakota? Do they get called up after WrestleMania? Do you see one of them going to Raw or SmackDown?
I would call it
roster may need some, because Raw's where careers go to die, but SmackDown's roster, look at their roster, man. When they lost Jeff Hardy, Tony Storm, and then recently Cesaro and Hit Row. Look at though Hit Row was not ready for SmackDown at all last October. They needed more time down in NXT. The only one in Hit Row that was ready was Isaiah Swerve Scott. That was it. Ridge Holland's not ready for SmackDown either. With SmackDown's roster, you look at SmackDown's roster now, they need all the help they can get at this point, in my opinion. Just look who they have on their roster. And do you think adding Dakota and or Raquel to SmackDown could benefit? Because look at their roster.
Yes.
I don't trust them at all, but looking at their roster, it's hard to saying like, oh, they don't need that much help. Like it's hard, like how do you say that? Just look at their roster. It's weak. It's fucking weak.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I don't want them on the main roster either. But
Dakota to Cal, call up LA Knight, call up
Walter.
Well, or not Gunther, whatever.
Actually, I take that.
LA Knight, call up whoever you sent me in Twitter DM here. If I can find it. Yeah, LA Knight and
Champa.
Tommaso Champa.
Well, Champa.
I know he's been appearing on Raw. Like it was like a few weeks ago with the Ziggler and Breaker stuff. But why would Champa go to Raw when SmackDown needs help with their roster? You do realize Roman needs challengers, and he's going to need some, especially after his match with Brock at WrestleMania. Just Drew McIntyre and Ricochet is not enough. Roman needs more challengers, yet no one seems to address that. You know what I mean? Just McIntyre and Ricochet is not enough at all. Roman's going to need more, and I know with Roman, even with Roman holding both titles, and I did read a Meltzer report a while ago that even though with Roman holding both titles, they're not going to end the brand split. And it's like, because of the networks, they want 2 world titles. So if that's the case, then Roman needs more challengers on SmackDown. So why not call up Champa to SmackDown? Why not call up LA Knight to SmackDown? Monday Night Raw doesn't need them. That Raw has talent. They just don't use them. Like putting Finn Balor, your U.S. champion, who was on Main Event this week. Can someone please explain to me how that makes sense? Yeah, yes, you heard that correctly. Your U.S. champion, Finn Balor, who's not even on the Mania card this weekend, wrestled on Main Event this week and is going to be in the Andre the Giant catering Memorial Battle Royal this Friday on SmackDown, which I'm not watching. They have Damian Priest and Finn Balor in that Battle Royal this Friday, and it's like, how do you not have a problem with that? How do you not have an issue with that? I don't get it. Unreal to me. But yeah, Cameron's going Toxic Attraction retain. I'm gonna go Dakota and Raquel because Toxic Attraction is not working out for me. But if Toxic Attraction retains, who else do they fight and who beats them? That's another thing.
Well, they don't have any teams anyway.
Outside of Caden Carter and KC Catanzaro.
Yeah, they don't have any teams anyway, so.
So, anyways, we'll move on to the main stuff now with Stand and Deliver. We got the the Fatal 5-Way ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. We got the champion Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams defending against Santos Escobar, the leader of Legado del Fantasma. We got those two in this ladder match. We got Solo Sikoa, who is the brother of Jimmy and Jey Uso, who is getting better. And then we got Grayson Waller. And then we got Cameron Grimes, who qualified earlier tonight in NXT by winning a triple threat by beating Roderick Strong and A-Kid from NXT UK, who just started with NXT in the States about a few weeks ago, who I like a lot, who is very good at what he does. He was NXT UK Heritage Cup champion. He was a Heritage Cup champion in NXT UK for those of you who watch NXT UK. So this 5-man ladder match, Carmelo Hayes has held that championship since October, if not mistaken, when he beat Isaiah Swerve Scott of Hit Row.
Yep.
Before he foolishly got released.
Yep.
And now he's in AEW right now. But this 5-man ladder match should be a good one. This almost reminds me of TakeOver New Orleans when Adam Cole won the inaugural North American title. Is it going to be better than that? Probably not. But do I think it's going to be? Do I think it's going to be good? Yes. Will it be better than the one at TakeOver New Orleans? Probably not. But this should be a good match nonetheless. Cameron, what do you think of this match? The competitors in this match, and on who do you think walks away with the North American title? And do we see Carmelo Hayes drop the North American title here with him being champion since October? Do we see the extended reign of Carmelo Hayes as the A champion with the NXT North American Championship?
Well, I am very much looking forward to this match here. I think this match is probably going to be the best thing on the entire show. You know, it's very hard to have a bad ladder match. You know, it's very hard to have a bad ladder match. And all five or six, I don't remember. But everybody in this match is very talented. You know, but everybody in this match is talented, and I do think a lot of the guys in this match here have potential to be main event guys for WWE. You know, everybody knows I'm a big Carmelo Hayes fan. I've been on the Carmelo Hayes bandwagon.
He's been growing on me lately, and Trick Williams isn't that bad either. He's getting, getting better. Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of Trick Williams, but he's really not that bad.
No, he's not. I've been
at first when he started in like September in the fall of last year. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way a bit, but not so much now. He's starting.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm
not a big fan of him, but he's getting a little better.
Yeah, I've been on the Carmelo Hayes bandwagon since his match with Adam Cole last year. That is how long I've been on the Carmelo Hayes bandwagon. This dude, Carmelo, AEW likes to talk about the pillars of their company. Likes to talk about the pillars of their company. I have MJF, he's a pillar. Sonny Guevara's a pillar. Britt Baker's a pillar. Darby Allin's a pillar. These are the pillars that are going to carry AEW into the future. If we had to come up with pillars for WWE, Carmelo Hayes would be on there. Carmelo Hayes should be on there. The dude is money. He can be a legitimate WrestleMania headliner for you.
And I heard he's a pet project, I believe, of Shawn Michaels as well.
Yeah, in 2-3 years max. So Carmelo Hayes, if they do not mess him up, has big potential.
And I think even though part of with the NXT 2.0 experiment, he's also an indie guy, I believe, and I remember him wrestling or challenging Adam Cole last summer.
Yeah,
when he did the Ruthless Aggression or John Cena promo when he debuted against Kurt Angle in 2002 on SmackDown in June of 2002 that year, which I thought was great.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Better than Angle and Cena promo from 2002? No, but
I don't think it was better. I don't think it was better, but it was great. You have Grayson Waller, who I really like. I think Grayson Waller has a lot of potential as well. I think Grayson Waller has a lot of potential as well to be a big star to be a big main event star for WWE down the line. Solo Sikoa is great. Solo Sikoa is great. The dude is money. He just comes off as badass. You could put Solo Sikoa on television tomorrow. You could put Solo Sikoa on television tomorrow as part of the Usos.
With the
As
bloodline.
part of as part of the bloodline, and I don't think anybody would bat an eye at him. Solo Sikoa is great.
Though I
Solo
do see
Sikoa is
some
great.
Umaga in him, God rest his soul, and makes me wish Umaga was still alive today.
Same here. I'm a big fan of Solo Sikoa. And plus, Solo Sikoa is Samoan. He's a part of that Samoan family. And the Samoans have always had cushy spots in WWE. They've always been prominently featured on television. So I have no doubt Solo Sikoa is going to be just fine. So Solo Sikoa is going to be just fine. Santos Escobar is great. I like Santos Escobar a lot. And Cameron Grimes, who I've said before, Cameron Grimes can be the next big breakout babyface in this company. Cameron Grimes is great. So you have a lot of great talent in this match here that I think is going to make this very fun. In terms of who wins here, part of me think in terms of who wins here, I think the two obvious picks are either Carmelo Hayes or Cameron Grimes. I could see Carmelo Hayes retaining the championship because part of me thinks it would make him look kind of bad if he because again this is the match he requested. This is the match Carmelo Hayes wanted. He wanted a ladder match to prove that he is the A champion of NXT. So I think it would make him look really bad if he requested this match and couldn't win it. If he requested this match and couldn't win it. But another part of me thinks that with the story they're telling the story they're telling with Cameron Grimes, and part of the story they're telling with Cameron Grimes is that he's doing it for he's doing it for his dad, he's doing it for his late dad. So I can see Cameron Grimes winning. So I can see Cameron Grimes winning to get the big. So I can see Cameron Grimes winning to get the big emotional feel good win at it. After, but if it was up to me, I I would have Cameron Grimes come close, but I would have Carmelo Hayes. Actually, I'll take that back. I gotta take that back. I'm gonna give the win to Cameron Grimes. I think Cameron Grimes wins the North American title, and with Carmelo Hayes, look, Braun Breaker is gonna need challengers for the NXT title. I think Braun Breaker's gonna drop that championship to Walter personally, but we'll get to that when we get there. With Braun Breaker needing challengers, I can see Carmelo Hayes losing the North American Championship and being slotted into a program with Braun Breaker. I think your Carmelo Hayes Braun Breaker program would be great. Would be great. I think the matches between those guys would be great. So I'm going with Cameron Grimes. I think Cameron Grimes wins and Carmelo Hayes drops the North American title.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Cameron Grimes as well. I mean, the story they're telling and such, and I did hear like when Cameron Grimes, I think, was about to get signed or got signed, didn't his father pass away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with the story they're telling and they're trying to build up the sympathy for Cameron Grimes, and he lost the first qualifier for this match against Santos Escobar as well, and Cameron Grimes won a last chance qualifiers tonight. And I think they did cut a promo a week or two ago, got emotional saying that he needs this. And so they're telling the story that with Cameron Grimes. So I mean, I would love to see Cameron Grimes win. I wouldn't hate it at all. I could see Carmelo retaining with some screwy finish where Trick Williams, like Cameron Grimes is close, but Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes try to screw him, and then maybe they do Hayes and Grimes after Stand and Deliver, and then maybe that's where Grimes wins the title from Hayes. But I think it would be a great moment if Grimes wins this ladder match and the championship on Saturday, just based off the story they've been telling lately with Cameron Grimes. And I don't think he's won a major title in NXT yet. He did the $1 million stuff with LA Knight and the $1 Million Man last year, but I don't think Grimes has won a major title yet in NXT yet, in my opinion. I don't think. So why not crown Cameron Grimes new North American champion this Saturday? And then Hayes, you can move him up the main event in NXT and such. So I'm going to go Cameron Grimes, just like Cameron, not to confuse the Camerons, but that's another thing for another day. But yeah, Santos Escobar, as great as he is, I don't see him winning. Solo Sikoa, he's not going to win, but he's going to look good in this match, and he's only going to get better. Solo Sikoa and Grayson Waller. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. I like him, but he's not there as far as a heat magnet yet. He'll get better, but I don't think he'll win this match either. But I'm going Cameron Grimes. to win the North American title to become the new NXT North American champion. Next match, we got Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo in a one-on-one singles match. This all started when Ciampa cut an emotional promo, and it looked like he was going to leave NXT, and then Tony D'Angelo interrupted him, says he wants the match with Ciampa at Stand and Deliver, and then with attacks on each other over the past weeks and such of that, and they didn't even have much time, and they had like a few week build. Yes, it's better than the Mania build, believe it or not. Go figure. But Tony D'Angelo, he is one of the things I like with. I mean, like I said moments ago, with the 2.0 experiment with NXT, some things I like, some things I dislike. This is one of the things I like. Tony D'Angelo. Forget about it. Tony D'Angelo, he is great. He is great. Charisma, personality. He can wrestle and all. Guy just has it. I think he'll do. In my opinion, I think he'll do well, and I think he'll succeed. Just like Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes and all, in my opinion, and Ivy Nile as well, and Nikita Lyons, who was in Action NXT earlier tonight, who is growing on me and has potential. But Tony D'Angelo and Tommaso Ciampa, I love Tommaso Ciampa, part of NXT Black and Gold with Johnny Gargano with DIY. Love Tommaso Ciampa. I like Tony D'Angelo. This should be a good match. Ciampa will be able to carry Tony D. This should be a good match, in my opinion, this Saturday afternoon with Stand and Deliver. I think Tony D'Angelo is going to go over. I think Ciampa's going to pass the torch to Tony D. And some people are saying Ciampa's going to get called up after WrestleMania to Raw or SmackDown. Looking at it now, I could see that. I mean, some other people saying, oh, Ciampa's going to leave the company, has a contract coming up. He has a contract coming up very, very soon. Like, I doubt he leaves, but do I see him getting called up? Maybe. But I'd rather him stay in NXT than go to the main roster, because Monday Night Raw is where careers go to die, and SmackDown's still better. But Raw is like, as soon as you step foot on Raw, your career goes like dead on Raw. Just ask Karrion Kross and Keith Lee that. But it's a conversation for another story. But what do you think of this match, Cameron? And who do you think goes over? And what does the future hold for Tommaso Ciampa and Tony D'Angelo?
Well, I think Ciampa's going to the main roster. I think.
Also, he mentioned earlier Ciampa with a promo on NXT earlier tonight. He had the chair September 9th, I think, 2015 to April 2nd, 2022. Do we see Ciampa leaving the company ultimately, or do we see him get called up?
Ciampa's not leaving the company. Ciampa's not leaving the company. He ain't going anywhere. He was
NXT champion a while ago. Why would he leave?
Unless he's a part of the budget. Unless he's a budget cut, Ciampa ain't going no damn where. Ciampa is not going anywhere.
Hopefully he's not a budget cut, but can't be. But I mean, he's a guy that's done everything in NXT as well.
Yeah, Ciampa's probably going to the. Yeah,
I don't trust the main roster at all, and I'd much rather him be NXT than go to main roster. But that's just me.
I don't trust him on the main roster either. But they need people, and to be quite honest with you, if they were smart,
he's been on Raw for about a few weeks ago, and it's like why Ciampa to Raw? Why?
Well, I wouldn't put him on Raw. I would put him on SmackDown. SmackDown needs all the help they can get. So I would put him on SmackDown.
Look at their roster, like Los Lotharios, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, McIntyre, Reigns. Like, they need help. Happy Corbin's now. I gave it a chance, but it's not working. His stuff with McIntyre has run its course. SmackDown needs help bad, more than anything. So, Why would you have Ciampa on Raw when SmackDown has no roster and they need fucking people?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. So,
put Ciampa on SmackDown, put LA Knight on SmackDown. He's ready for a call up.
Yeah.
Io Shirai, put her on SmackDown. Give me Sasha and Io on SmackDown. SmackDown's women's division also needs help too. Charlotte on SmackDown, not doing it for me. Ronda, after the promo she cut on SmackDown, I'm not sure if you watched Ronda's promo from SmackDown Friday.
Ronda sucks.
I like Ronda, but geez, man, she sucks on the mic. like as a babyface, she sucks. She needs to be heel, and I feel like Ronda is just, it's like she's just going through the motions there, in my opinion. And I saw it on Twitter. She called women's SmackDown champion, SmackDown Women's champion. Why do we even call it women? Like, what kind of promo is that? And you're trying to sell me and Ronda and Charlotte WrestleMania. That was bad. But yeah, that's my thought on that. But yeah, Io Shirai, you put her on SmackDown. I think that could inject something into SmackDown. Thoughts on that?
I agree with you. I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
I mean, I don't trust the main roster at all. And I'd much rather Io be NXT than.
I don't trust the main roster either. But it gets to a point where
why not call it Io SmackDown?
I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them when they're on the main roster either. But it gets to a point where fuck it, they need people. Call some of these guys up.
Something. They need a injective arm shot of adrenaline. Something. They need something.
Yeah. So
eventually they're going to need something.
Yeah. So in terms of who wins here, Tony D'Angelo's the obvious favorite to win here. Ciampa's going up in the main roster. Give the win to Tony D on his way out. I like Tony D, by the way. I don't know about you, Nick. I floated this idea. I floated this idea out on Twitter. I think Tony D'Angelo needs that, because his whole gimmick is that he's a mob guy. He's a mob guy. He's a don. I think Tommaso Ciampa not Ciampa. I think Tony D needs like his own. Needs like a faction with I think Tony D needs a faction of like mafia guys, make it like Godfather style where he's the head don and he has these guys here. Like when he's feuding with somebody, he puts out a hit on somebody or something like that. I don't know. I think that would be cool, but I don't know. I think that would be cool, and I think that would be cool. Cool, and it definitely fits the character. But Tony D is winning this match. Ciampa's gonna do the honors for Tony D on his way out, and then Ciampa's going to the main roster, and we can all, let's all say a prayer for Ciampa when he gets called up.
Yeah, same here, man. I don't trust him at all. Hopefully, he doesn't end up on Raw. I don't even want to think about Ciampa on Raw. Screw that. And why Ciampa to Monday Night Raw? Why Tommaso Ciampa over to Monday Night Raw? They have more than enough people. They don't need him. Monday Night Raw has people, but they just refuse to use them. Look at your U.S. champion Finn Balor. He wrestled on Main Event this week. How do you sit there and not have any issue with that when he's your U.S. champion of all people? I don't get it. I really don't get it. You have Balor, who you're not using. You have who else do you have on that show that you're not utilizing correctly? What else you got? R-Truth, Damian Priest, who you're underutilizing lately. There's a lot of people on Raw underutilized. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, like AJ Styles as well. Raw has people. They just don't use them. Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz. You have people on your Raw roster. You just refuse to use them. Just use them. You don't need Tommaso Ciampa. You don't need Ciampa on Raw. If you're going to call him up, I'd rather he stay in NXT, but you're going to call him up, put him on Friday Night SmackDown where they need help. Roman's going to need challengers after Mania. Just Drew McIntyre and Ricochet ain't going to cut it. You just do those two with Roman, it's going to get tired very quickly.
Yeah.
Roman needs challengers on SmackDown, even when he holds two world titles. And with the Meltzer report a while ago, he said they're not going to end the brand split because of the two networks, and with the two networks wanting two world titles. So if that's the case, Roman needs more challengers on SmackDown. Yet a lot of people don't seem to address that. Just Drew and Ricochet is not enough. You need more. Why not put Ciampa on SmackDown? Do I see him beating Roman for the title? Probably not. But hey, Roman needs challengers. Roman needs fucking challengers, especially if he gets The Rock next year at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles, if they get Dwayne Johnson. But yeah, I think we're both on the same board here, Cameron. Tony D'Angelo to go over Tommaso Ciampa with Ciampa's last match in NXT. Tony D'Angelo goes over big. It should be a good match, in my opinion. One of the good matches of the night for that show, not night, for the show, because it's in the afternoon. WrestleMania Night 1 is on Saturday night. Send delivered Saturday afternoon, but Yeah, I think we got both. But yeah, I think we both got Tony D on the board here, which should be a good match with Tony D and Tommaso Ciampa at Stand and Deliver. We then got the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's title. We got Mandy Rose defending the NXT Women's Championship against Cora Jade, Io Shirai, and Kay Lee Ray, who was the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion in history. Io Shirai, one of the best in the world, and had a really good reign with the NXT Women's title. Cora Jade, who's still young and still very much green, who is not ready in my opinion. And then you got Mandy Rose, leader of Toxic Attraction. Their thoughts, Cameron, on this Fatal 4-Way. Do you think it makes sense, or what do you think of this match? Who do you think wins? Who do you think goes over? And thoughts on all that?
Well, do I think the Fatal 4-Way makes sense? No, I don't think it makes sense because they won, because Io and Kaylee won a women's tag team tournament. They should be challenging for the tag team titles. But I am not going to.
But it makes the women's title match at Stand and Deliver. It's not Takeover. Number one. Oh, but it makes the NXT Women's title match at Stand and Deliver that much better, man, because Cora Jade is fucking green, man.
It does make this match a lot better.
I will say it does make the match better, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I'm not going to complain about it too much. But I'm not going to complain about it too much or beat WWE over the head too much about this, because this makes this match because making it a 4-way makes this match a lot better. I am a Cora Jade fan. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a fan of Cora Jade. I think Cora Jade has a lot of potential. I think Cora Jade has a lot of potential to be a big star in the women's division for WWE down the road. Kind of simply as the girl next door underdog type of character, like what Bayley was before Bayley went heel, like what Dakota Kai was before Dakota Kai went heel. You know, like what Dakota Kai was before Dakota Kai went heel. As like the girl next door type of character, I think Cora Jade could be that. She has a lot of potential. I like Cora Jade, but Cora Jade as NXT Women's Champion I don't think she's ready for that role yet. And her versus Mandy Rose sounded like a match on paper. Sounded like it sounded like a mess waiting to happen. This match sounded like a mess waiting. This match sounded like a mess waiting to happen. So them adding Io and Kaylee Ray to the match makes the match a lot better. And in terms of who wins here, I think Mandy Rose retains. I think Mandy Rose retains the championship here, and Io Shirai. And I don't know about Kaylee Ray, but Io Shirai gets caught up in the main roster afterwards. So I think Mandy Rose wins this match here. So I think Mandy wins this match here. In terms of who takes the championship off her, I do not know. I could see it being Cora Jade down the line. But Cora Jade has to improve in the ring. I don't hate Cora Jade, by the way. I'm a Cora Jade fan.
I don't think Cora Jade's ready though right now. She's definitely not ready right now.
I don't think she's ready now. I'm a fan of hers. I'm a fan of hers. I just don't think she's ready right now. So I think Mandy Rose retains the NXT Women's Championship here.
Yeah. I mean, with the Fatal 4-Way odds, and they say the champion defends the title of Fatal 4-Way, they have a 25% chance of winning. More likely than not, when it comes to a champion defending the Fatal 4-Way, more likely than not, the champion.
So you got to. But Mandy's a genetic freak, and she's not normal. So you got a 65 and third chance of beating me. Then you add Kurt Angle to the mix. I'm sorry, that's one of my favorite Scott Steiner. That's one of my favorite. Shout out to WWE Hall of Fame Scott Steiner, by the way.
Which, by the way, the Steiner brothers are getting inducted in the Hall of Fame this Friday night, right after SmackDown. By the way, so congratulations to the Steiner brothers for getting inducted in the Hall of Fame this year. Class of 2022 getting inducted with Sharmell, the wife of Booker T, Vader, and The Undertaker, who I think is absolutely deserving without a shadow of a doubt. Should have been inducted years ago. There will never be another Undertaker, and I couldn't be more happier for Mark Calloway. So, but yeah, Mandy Rose, I think I'm going to go to retain here, just like with you, Cameron. Cora Jade's not ready. Io Shirai, former NXT Women's Champion, but I mean, I don't know what else you do with her. I would say put her on SmackDown, though I don't trust them. But SmackDown needs all the help they can get at this point, and I'd much rather Io be NXT and all. But yeah, Io Shirai, one of the best in the world. Kaylee Ray, though she fought Mandy Rose months ago, I don't think she got that fair one-on-one match. So maybe it could be she drops it to Kaylee Ray after Send Deliver, but I don't think Cora Jade is ready now at all. She's still got some work to do. And I did the promo, and they did some promo thing earlier tonight in NXT with Cora Jade, saying that she grew up as a wrestling fan and all. Despite that, she's still not ready. She still needs more work. If Triple H, I guarantee you if Triple H was actually there, a healthy man, he'd probably get Cora Jade a lot more over than where she is right now. She's just not ready. She's not ready. When she's ready, you'll know. Like, you can tell instantly when someone is ready and when someone's over ready, when someone needs more work. Cora Jade's not there yet. Do I think she has potential to be something good in the company? Yes. But does she got a lot of work to do? Yes. But when it's like when she's ready, you'll know. When she's ready, you'll feel it. Right now, I just don't feel it. And I know Cameron doesn't feel it right now either. But though Cameron does like Cora Jade, she was also, I think, Elena Black in AEW, I think, too, if not mistaken.
She was never in AEW. She wrestled on AEW.
Oh, I thought she was Elena Black in AEW for a little bit.
No, she wrestled on AEW Dark. Elena Black was the name she went by on the Indies.
Because I remember she wrestled on AEW once in the past.
She did. She wrestled on AEW Dark.
Yep. So, I mean, Cora Jade's got the potential, but she's not there yet. Give her more time, and then she'll be ready. She needs a lot. She needs like a lot more time. Then she'll be ready. Right now, she's nowhere near ready. So, I think I would have Mandy Rose retain here. I don't think Mandy Rose is title material. She can wrestle, but I don't think Mandy Rose is title championship material, in my opinion. And I don't think this toxic extraction thing is working out. And I think the belt needs to come off Mandy Rose and it's better off on somebody else who will do that title justice. I don't think Mandy's the one for the job, though she can wrestle, but I don't think she's title material. I think there's some people in the wrestling business out there who can wrestle, but some are just not title material. You know, I mean, and I'm not hating on Mandy Rose, toxic extraction. I'm not. I just don't think this Mandy stuff is working out. And I don't think she's doing that title any justice whatsoever. I mean, again, not hating on Mandy Rose, but I don't think she's the one. Like, I like Mandy Rose, but is she really a woman you build a division around? I don't think so. There are much better women out in that division in NXT who I can picture holding that belt. There are other women in NXT who I can see holding the title. I mean, Mandy Rose can wrestle. It's not, I mean, does she have a worse NXT Women's title reign? I've seen a lot worse with title reigns. But do I think the Mandy thing is working out?
I think Raquel's reign. I think I would have to give the worst.
Championship could it be a lot worse? Oh, absolutely. Is she the worst champion of all time? No, but do I think she needs to drop the title eventually? Yes, because I don't think the toxic extraction experiment's working out. And I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me. But I'm going to go Mandy Rose to retain here. Because usually when a champion's defending a title in a Fatal 4-Way, more likely than not, they retain. So I don't see Mandy Rose losing here at all. So yeah, Mandy Rose. The next match, we got the triple threat tag match for the NXT tag team titles. We got Imperium of Fabian Egner and Marcel Bartel defending against the Creed brothers of Brutus and Julius Creed of the Diamond Mine, representing with Ivy Nile, Roderick Strong, and Malcolm Bivens, who I am a fan of. I love Malcolm Bivens. I think
Malcolm Bivens is great. He's so fun.
He's like the Black Paul Heyman.
He is so entertaining. Malcolm Bivens is so entertaining. My God.
He has just charisma. He just has that heel that gets under your skin. He's like the Black Paul Heyman. He's like the black version of Paul Heyman.
I don't think I disrespect to Paul Heyman. I don't think Paul Heyman is as funny as Malcolm Bivens. Malcolm Bivens is just funny.
Bivens and Heyman are great.
Well, like
Love,
if you
love
follow
Bivens
Malcolm
and
Bivens, well, like I had Malcolm Bivens tweet notifications turned on because if you follow him on Twitter, because if you follow Malcolm Bivens on Twitter, it's just him saying shit. It's just him saying shit, and you're like, it's just him saying shit, and you're like, how does he possibly get away with this kind of stuff? It is absolutely hilarious. So
yeah,
Malcolm Bivens
shout
is
out to
great.
Malcolm Bivens, by the way. But yeah, and then so we got and then versus MSK of Nash Carter and Wesley, MSK versus the Creed Brothers versus Imperium, triple threat match for the NXT tag team titles. Should be a good one. We had MSK and the Creed Brothers in the finals of the Men's Dusty Cup this year, which the Creed Brothers won. The Creed Brothers have gotten better. They also did this angle where the Creed Brothers got attacked when they were supposed to fight Imperium for the titles a few weeks ago, but then they got attacked in the parking lot backstage. Some people trying to predict who attacked them. Did MSK attack them? Did somebody else attack them? Did Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs attack them? So they had
I
the
think it was
storyline with that going on.
I think it was pretty deadly. That's what I think attacked him.
Who?
I think it was pretty deadly from NXT UK.
Pretty
That's
deadly
what
from
I think.
NXT UK.
That's how I think it
Former
was.
NXT UK Tag Team Champions who are not bad. For those
Yeah,
of you who watch NXT UK, they're underrated. And they can wrestle. Of Sam Stoker and who was the other guy? Then part of
Lewis Howley, I think.
Lewis Howley and Sam Stoker, pretty deadly. Thank you. Who they do taunts like Bobby Roode and such with the glorious stuff, but they're not bad at all. They can actually. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they can actually wrestle. They lost the NXT UK Tag Team titles a while back to Mustache Mountain, who are the current NXT UK Tag Team champions, by the way. Who I love. I love Mustache Mountain of Trent Seven, Tyler Bate. They are awesome, especially Tyler Bate. Man, how do you not make money off of him? But yeah, the triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team titles, Creed Brothers, MSK, and Imperium. I would have to pick the Creed Brothers. I think this is their time to win it. What do you think?
I'm going with the Creed brothers as well. MSK. It's time to get MSK up to the main roster, and with MSK, some stuff might come out about Nash Carter. Some stuff might come out
Yeah,
about
I did
Nash.
read about that not too long ago. Apparently Izzy with her father, who, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Izzy is a big wrestling fan. And I think she was a Bailey super fan years ago, and she's
She
now
was the Bayless
training to.
Superfans.
She's like now doing some sports stuff, and isn't she training to be a pro wrestler? But
I
she
think so. I know she works there. I
loves
think so.
wrestling, has so much passion for it, and she's and I like Izzy, and she's really young. I love Izzy. I think she's great. She's part of the hot tag stuff, and she has been around in NXT and AEW. I think she's great.
Yeah.
And shout out to Izzy on Twitter as well. But yeah, apparently I think it was either Wesley or Nash Carter. They did apparently they don't like Izzy and her father very much, or they have some issues going on, and I think they
Well, not not only that, but also his wife Kimberly. She might come. He might be a topic of something very terrible. So no, she might be the topic
so
of.
perhaps some
He might be this.
accusations.
Yeah. So yeah. So
If this comes out true, not good for MSK.
it's not good for MSK.
Holy
So
crap, man! If
yeah,
the allegations turn out to be indeed true,
yeah. So some stuff might come out about them. So I'm not picking them to win this match here. So honestly,
now
I
with
think the
that,
Creed brothers.
now do you see them MSK getting called up anyways, or do you see them actually going heel even with this allegation? Do you see MSK going heel?
I think they get called up to the main roster anyway. But I
Really, you
think
don't think they're the ones that attacked the Creed brothers if it's not pretty deadly?
I could see it happening, but I could see that happening. But
I don't know how you
oh
could
no,
boo
I think they get
MSK.
called
I
up to
don't
the
know.
main roster.
Though I don't know how you could boo MSK though. Sami Zayn proved a lot of people wrong when he turned heel. Same thing with Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson, whatever way to call him. When Daniel Bryan turned heel in November 2018, when he low blowed AJ Styles, the SmackDown Live before Survivor Series 2018, and then when Bayley turned heel in late 2019, proved a lot of people wrong when turned heel and proved a lot of people wrong, and they just made the heel character just work. And look at what Bayley did. Look at what Bryan did. Look at what Sami Zayn did. Even Johnny Gargano, when he turned heel in early 2020, look what he did as a heel.
Yeah.
MSK is heel. It could work if they turn, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go with the Creed brothers to retain. They've gotten better. They're only going to get better. I think it's their time to win on Saturday. Imperium, I think they've had a decent reign with those tag titles, but I'd be shocked if Imperium ends up retaining on Saturday. Who do you think eats the pin though in this match?
Probably MSK.
Probably, especially with the allegations with Kimberly and stuff. But I'm gonna go Creed brothers, and Cameron's going the Creed brothers as well. Should be a good match, but I think we're both going Creed brothers to go over here. We then got LA Knight versus Gunther. Well, I'm calling him Walter. I still think the name change sounds ridiculous, but hell, it's a lot better than the name change from Pete Dunne to Butch, which I think is just completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. That was stupid when they changed Pete Dunne to Butch. Why Butch? I don't. Can someone please explain to me how that makes any fucking sense?
Yeah, they wanted to change his name. They should have changed it to Bruiser. But
why change Pete Dunne if it's not you know what they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I agree with you there. But all I'm gonna say is this: as long as Butch or Pete Dunne is treated like a big deal on SmackDown, if he's booked well on SmackDown, I'll get over the name change. As long as he's booked well on SmackDown, that's all I ask. As long as he's booked well, I'll get over the name change. I will get over the name change. If not, then I'll be shitting on him. But if they book him well, I can easily get over the name change. I just hope they book him well. Name is a name. I just hope they book him well.
Yeah. Gunther, though, I still call him Walter. I still think he should still be Walter. But, it's not as bad as the Butch name change. But, I don't know. I still think it's ridiculous that they changed from Walter to Gunther. But it's not as bad as the Butch name change. Though, the Gunther name change, I'm getting over. I'm starting to get over that now. It's nowhere near bad as the Butch name change. Yeah, they're both unnecessary, but Butch name change is worse.
Yeah, I'm over the Gunther name change.
You can change Walter to you can change Walter to Gunther all you want, but hell, as long as he's still chopping the crap out of people and he's leaving people's chest as hamburger meat, as long as Walter Gunther's still doing that, then changing to Gunther, probably okay. I remember about a week ago in NXT, I believe a week ago, he chopped the shit out of Duke Hudson, and his chest was hamburger meat. Gunshot chops from Gunther or Walter. Holy crap. Holy fucking shit. Man, did he cave Duke Hudson's chest in last week. I expect to cave into LA Knight on Saturday too. But should be a good one with LA Knight and Gunther. I think this is LA Knight's send-off to the main roster. Hopefully, LA Knight ends up on SmackDown. Hopefully, it's SmackDown with Fox, and because with SmackDown and Fox is in the Fox headquarters is in LA, and then LA Knight, it just makes sense, dude. It just makes all the sense in the world. LA Knight and Gunther should be a good one again. I expect LA Knight to get his chest caved in by Walter or Gunther. I think Gunther's going to go over here. I think this is LA Knight's, just like Tommaso Champa, I think this is LA Knight's send-off, and I think Champa and LA Knight are both going to get, and I think Champa and LA Knight are both going to get called up to the main roster to Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania this weekend. Cameron, thoughts on this match? Who do you think goes over? And the floor is yours.
I think Gunther gets the win. I think Gunther beats LA Knight. Obviously, I think LA Knight goes up to the main roster. And I think Gunther is the one who's beating Braun Breaker for the NXT title. I think Gunther's your next NXT champion. So I'm going with Gunther.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gunther over LA Knight, and should though a good match, and I think will be, but I don't see Gunther losing at all to LA Knight. As over as LA Knight is, I don't see Gunther losing. I think he's gonna go over LA Knight, and I think LA Knight's gonna get called up after Mania.
Yeah.
So we both got Walter or Gunther on the board here. And then lastly, which I think will be the main event of Stand and Deliver, the NXT Championship match with Dolph Ziggler defending the NXT title against Braun Breaker. NXT Roadblock a few weeks ago, Ziggler won the NXT title by beating both Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa in a triple threat when Ziggler pinned Ciampa to win the championship, which I was very, very shocked when Ziggler won the NXT title. Never expected it. I do think now Ziggler's NXT champion, as ridiculous as I think it is. Do I think it's ridiculous? Yes. As ridiculous as it is, and Ziggler's a Raw guy. Do I think Ziggler NXT is kind of like, do I think Ziggler's been doing well with NXT since he's been NXT for a while now? Yes, I do. But Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler, I don't think Breaker should have lost at Roadblock, in my opinion, in my view. And if Braun Breaker wins, like he killed his momentum and he wins the title in Dallas by beating Ziggler this Saturday, then why did you take the title off Breaker at Roadblock, which I thought made no sense? Braun Breaker's gotten better, but I'm also hearing rumors maybe they took the title, but I'm also hearing rumors with them taking the title off Breaker at Roadblock. There's also, I'm hearing talks of Braun Breaker, Braun Breaker being like Braun Breaker being called up to the main roster to Raw after Mania, possibly being considered by some people, some people working in the WWE company considering calling Braun Breaker up, which I don't think he's ready at all. He's been in NXT for 6 months. I think it's way too soon, way too soon to call him up. Breaker needs a year and a half left in NXT, and then he's ready. Right now, he's not ready. And Braun Breaker came out to Raw weeks ago, I think in Cleveland, and he got no reaction, and they had Breaker go out there and smile. I don't want to see Braun Breaker smile. This Braun Breaker in NXT is a kick-ass machine. He breaks people, he breaks people in half. You don't see Braun Breaker smile in NXT. Why is he? And you have and on Raw he's smiling. That doesn't make him look good. That doesn't make him look good at all. Breaker and Ziggler, the match, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's decent. But Breaker, if he wins, then why did you take the title off him at NXT Roadblock a few weeks ago? And then if Ziggler wins, does Breaker get called up? And Breaker called up right now, he's not ready. He's not ready. He's not ready at all, in my opinion. He needs more time in NXT. Your thoughts on this match as a whole, and Ziggler and Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker, and what do you think the aftermath is with this NXT title match? What do you think both guys go from here?
Well, Dolph Ziggler's NXT champion, I don't have an issue with because Dolph Ziggler's NXT champion is not long term. Dolph Ziggler won the NXT title at Roadblock, so Braun Breaker could win the championship in front of the largest crowd NXT 2.0. In front of the largest crowd NXT 2.0 is going to have. That is why Braun Breaker lost the NXT title to Dolph Ziggler, and he didn't.
You don't think he's getting called up?
No, and he didn't eat the pin. I think Tommaso Ciampa ate the pin in that match. And he didn't eat the pin. I think Champa ate.
Yeah,
I think Ciampa ate.
triple threat when
Yeah,
Ziggler
Ciampa ate the pin. Yeah, Ciampa ate the pin in that match. So Braun Breaker wasn't pinned by it. So it's not a Breaker wasn't pinned. So Breaker wasn't pinned. So it's not a big deal. So it's not a big deal, quite frankly. So it's not a big deal, quite frankly. I will say they put Dolph Ziggler in NXT a couple years too late. Dolph Ziggler in the black and gold brand of NXT, working with those. Oh my God. Ziggler in NXT pulling a Finn Balor. Ziggler going to NXT pulling a Finn Balor or Tyson Kidd back in NXT black and
Johnny
gold.
Gargano or
That would have
Neville,
been
Sami
great.
Zayn.
Yeah, that would have been great, but
Or even
they put the
wrestling Alistair
champion.
Black, Ricochet, Lars Sullivan,
Yeah, exactly. That could have been fun.
Andrade.
Yeah, that could have been fun. But they put the championship on Braun. Yeah, but they put the championship on Dolph Ziggler so Braun Breaker could win the championship back in front of the largest crowd NXT 2.0 I've seen. In front of the largest crowd NXT 2.0 I've seen. Dolph Ziggler is great. Dolph Ziggler is great. I know we don't really see that a lot from him because Dolph Ziggler is just there for the pay. Because Dolph Ziggler is just there for the paycheck. Dolph Ziggler is a guy who stopped caring a long time ago. He's still there for the paycheck, but Dolph Ziggler is still very, very good. Braun Breaker is very, very good. Now, Braun Breaker is very, very good. They could call him up to Raw or SmackDown tomorrow, and I don't think he will look out of place at all. Matter of fact, if they were to call him up into the main roster, go right on ahead. Raw and SmackDown are fucking unwatchable. So you want to bring Braun? So you want to bring a new face and Braun Breaker up to those shows? It's perfect. He's perfectly fine with me. I wouldn't. He's fine with me. I wouldn't complain. So it's fine with me. I wouldn't complain. But Braun Breaker is my pick here to win the NXT Championship. Back from Dolph Ziggler, obviously, because Dolph Ziggler is not NXT champion for the long run. Ziggler's down there. He's going to put over Braun Breaker, and Breaker working with a guy like Ziggler is great for Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker working with a guy like Dolph Ziggler is, Braun Breaker working with a guy like Dolph Ziggler is only positive. It is only positive. And it's only positive. It's only a positive thing for Braun Breaker. Him working with guys him working with guys like Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, like he's been doing.
Even look at Braun Breaker's matches with Tommaso Ciampa and Santos Escobar.
Exactly. It's only a positive.
He had a really good match with Santos Escobar at Vengeance Day in February this year, about a month ago.
Yeah, this is only a positive. It's only a positive for Braun Breaker.
I mean, Breaker, you put him in there with the right guys, he's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Breaker has potential. You just got to put him in there with people who know how to wrestle. You need to put him in there with people who have that veteran experience, like a Champa, like a Gargano. Even he had a decent ladder match with Johnny Gargano about late last year as well.
Yeah.
Before War Games last December, had a decent match with Johnny Gargano in that ladder match.
Yeah.
Had a good match with Johnny Gargano in that ladder match. And though Gargano carried him, but the match I thought was decent.
Yeah.
And that's because that just goes to show how great Johnny Gargano is. That just goes to show how great Tommaso Ciampa and Santos Escobar are.
Yeah. Yeah. So Braun Breaker working with those guys is only going to help because whether you let me tell you guys
if you
something.
Put Braun Breaker in there, if you put Braun Breaker on Raw, if you call him up to Raw and you put him in there with like a Reggie, Braun Breaker won't get better.
Well, yeah, of course, of course, and I'll say this one, of course, and I'll say this on the show. For people who don't like Braun Breaker, if you plan on watching WWE television for the next 5 years in the future, if you don't like Braun Breaker, you might as well get used to it, because Braun Breaker is the future of this company. If they call Braun Breaker up to the main roster and they fuck him up, then NXT 2.0 would have been a giant fucking failure. Because I don't know how
he was on Raw a few weeks ago and they had him fucking smile. So I don't trust Raw at all with Braun Breaker.
Well, yeah, true, but I mean, like, if they call him
up to Raw after Mania, and if they have him smile on Raw each week, I'm gonna shit on it, and I'm gonna call them out on it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, I agree with you there. So Braun Breaker's one.
Yeah, I mean, Ziggler not there for the long term. The guy can wrestle, and such, but I mean, Breaker, I can see winning. I don't think he should have lost at all at NXT Roadblock. I think it didn't make any sense in my view. If Breaker wins a title back, it's like you killed his momentum, and a Breaker wins. Who does he face after Stand and Deliver? And I think if Ziggler loses here, he'll go right back to Raw. I don't see him sticking to NXT after Stand and Deliver. If Breaker wins at Stand and Deliver. If Ziggler retains, Breaker might get called up, but it's way too soon. It's way too soon for a Raw SmackDown call for Braun Breaker. Like, Hit Row got called up to SmackDown in the draft last October. They were not ready. Top Dollar wasn't ready, or No Dimes Dollar wasn't ready. B-Fab wasn't ready. Ashanti the Adonis Isaiah Swerve Scott was the only one in Hit Row that was ready. He was ready. Ridge Holland on SmackDown. He's still not ready. Look at the spot with Big E on Ridge Holland on SmackDown a few weeks ago. Though I'm not gonna harp Ridge Holland on that. I'm not gonna ring him much on that whatsoever because it was an accident. Ridge Holland does need to watch. Ridge Holland needs to be less reckless in the ring, but I'm not gonna blame Ridge Holland for Big E's neck injury. So it'd be wrong. It would be wrong of me to blame Ridge Holland completely of that. But Ridge Holland's not ready for SmackDown. He's not. Pete Dunne is ready, but unnecessary to rename him Butch. But that's a conversation for another day. But Braun Breaker. But Hit Row wasn't ready. Ridge Holland's not ready. Braun Breaker's not ready for the main roster at all.
Yeah.
Like I said moments ago, they had Braun Breaker on Raw weeks ago. They had him smile. Remember when Finn Balor was on Raw in 2018? They had him smile a lot. If Braun Breaker's going Raw after Mania, Raw making him smile like Balor did on Raw in 2018, God, I hope not. But then again, do you trust Raw with Braun Breaker? After Raw had him on Raw weeks ago, do I trust Raw with Braun Breaker? Absolutely not. I don't trust him at all. I wouldn't even trust Raw to take care of my own pets if I had pets. I don't trust Raw whatsoever to do anything right. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go. But I could see Breaker winning in the title here. Yeah, nothing much to say about that. But like I said, hopefully it is a decent match. Ziggler does know how to wrestle, and Breaker's been getting better, and he's gonna continue to get better. Do I think Braun Breaker could be more over than he is now? Yes, I think if Triple H was there, a healthy man, no heart attack whatsoever, I think he would get Braun Breaker from a here to here, and he definitely make Braun Breaker a lot more over than he is now, and I think he would get Braun Breaker more noticed. It would get more people to know Braun Breaker more, and it would definitely make Braun Breaker a lot more over than he is currently right now. I could see Breaker winning on Saturday. He's not ready for the main roster at all. So I'm going Braun Breaker to win the championship here, and I think Cameron's going Braun Breaker to win as well. And that is the match card for NXT. It's not TakeOver. It's not TakeOver. It's NXT Stand and Deliver 2022. That is the match card for NXT Stand and Deliver 2022. Like Cameron and I Stand and Deliver looking better than WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania night number 2 outside of Edge and Styles and Brock and Roman. Plus, I'm hearing, I just read earlier, Shane McMahon's going to be on WrestleMania weekend. I know you don't like to hear that, Cameron. Shane McMahon. After the disaster of the Rumble, hope not. God, I hope not. But anyways, Stand Delivered looking better than Mania, especially Mania night 2 outside of Edge and AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. But the card looking good. The card on paper looks good. Hopefully it delivers. Hopefully it's a good show Saturday. Looking at the card, how do you have a bad show with that card? It's just not possible. Like Gunther, LA Knight.
This show will be better than WrestleMania. This show has a better card than WrestleMania.
Oh, but that's not true, man. WrestleMania is stupendous, man. Yeah, stupendous my ass. It's the most stupendous 2-night event, man. Sure it is. Outside of Edge and AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns title for title match. And possibly now Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Which Cody Rhodes, the WWE is all but confirmed at this point. That is that for the preview predictions video for NXT Stand and Deliver 2022 for NXT Stand and Deliver 2022 preview and predictions video. Thank you guys so much for joining me and Cameron on Furious Nation to preview NXT Stand Deliver 2022. Really great to do this for the first time in 6 months, and really great to have Cameron on here. And all. Hit the like on the video. If you haven't done so yet already, subscribe as well to Furious Nation. Hit the bell for all notifications. Smash that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at NicholasFiori31. Links in the description of the video. Make sure to follow Cameron on Twitter as well and all. Make sure to subscribe to the Cine podcast with Cameron and Escobar. Make sure you do that. And also, before we get out of here, I also want to make a quick announcement regarding WrestleMania week. Next time you see me here, I may review Dynamite and TBS tomorrow. We got apparently someone debuting tomorrow. I think it's going to be Toni Storm. I think against who was she? It was
Allie.
Yeah. Who?
Allie the bunny.
Allie the bunny. Or yeah, Allie the bunny. Or the bunny or Allie, whatever you want to call her. I think it's either gonna be Toni Storm or Deonna Purrazzo debuting with that match tomorrow on Dynamite on TBS. So I may review Dynamite. And TBS tomorrow after the show. I may be reviewing NXT UK this Thursday afternoon. For this Friday, as far as that goes, SmackDown maybe. WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2 preview for WrestleMania, preview predictions this Friday after I land in Dallas. Yes, you heard that correct. I'm going to be in Dallas for Mania weekend. This week from April 1st to April 4th, I'll be in Dallas for Mania weekend and all, and for Stand and Deliver. Yes, I'll be live at Stand and Deliver and Mania Night 1 and Night 2 this weekend for WrestleMania weekend. So WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 preview predictions video, possibly this Friday. Look out for that. The WrestleMania Night 1 review, the WrestleMania Night 1 review this Saturday after Night 1 with Matt Doherty, who has his podcast of his own. Shout out to him. Also, WrestleMania Night 2 review. So that's WrestleMania Night 1 review. WrestleMania Night 2 review with Matt Doherty as well on the 3rd of April, right after WrestleMania Night 2. And then also the review for NXT 10 delivered this Sunday morning at 11, April 3rd at 11 a.m. NXT 10 deliver review with Earl Cole. Yes, Earl Cole making his debut on Furious Nation this Sunday. And shout out to Earl Cole. Earl Cole making his appearance on Furious Nation for the first time this Sunday morning at 11 a.m. when Earl Cole and I review NXT 10 delivered this Sunday morning at 11 a.m. So look out for that as well. And that is that as far as Furious Nation YouTube channel videos for WrestleMania week this week is concerned. And that is that, folks. And thank you guys so much for joining me and Cameron with the preview predictions video for NXT Stand Deliver 2022. I'm Nick Fiori, and this is Cameron right over here. And thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you next time right here in the channel for more good video content stuff right here on Fury Station, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you guys later.